All right, guys are ready. Great challenge this week. Number one offense in the NFL. Defense that is coming together with some names that we know and a great coaching staff. We're preparing. There was great focus out there, engagement today at practice, trying to build off and improve on the things that we looked at, in the film session, and just making sure that we're continuing to progress, continuing to show improvement in those areas, pushing each other. They're taking to it the right way, so it's an exciting day.
Dave, can you talk about, with the run defense being so impressive last week, the confidence that you and how you're carrying that over into this week in such a...
We've consistently been winning on first and second down with the run game. We've given up a couple of explosives, but this is a team that just continues to improve, to work together, to fit the runs the right way and rally to the ball and tackle. We expect them to do that again this week, take on the challenge, talk to each other, communicate, and just keep building together. And it really happens in practice. It's the communication that I see out there. I see them talking about different sets, talking about different tips and tells that they're working on, and making sure they're playing their leverages right and doing their assignments so that we can play team football.
Dave, do you think Chuba's going to miss another week, or where do you think he's staying?
We're going to put him out there every day, just little by little in RTP, and just see where he's at, and we'll make that decision as we go. He's chomping at the bit, as you can imagine. Especially after last week, he's fired it to get back out there. We have to do the right thing for Chuba, the right thing for the Panthers. So we'll take it day by day and see where he's at.
Was it to see Rico get recognized with that award for what he did?
Yeah, NFC Offensive Player of the Week, phenomenal. I'm really proud of the group. I'm proud of the offensive line. He'd be up here telling you the offensive line, and the tight ends and the receivers blocking down the field. It takes all 11. Bryce getting us to the right runs depending on the looks. It's a whole team effort, and Rico went out there and did his part, played violently like we expected him to, and I'm excited for Rico and just all the hard work that goes into it, the full group, to put that kind of performance. That's earned. You work on those things, and to make it come alive, it takes a group effort.
What kind of balance is that when you've got a guy that just comes in to see Offensive Player of the Week, and then if Chuba comes back, he could be the backup? Is there a balance you have to go by as a coach when you're handling those situations?
It's a great feeling for me. I look down at the call sheet. I don't have to worry about who's in there, and Trevor has done a great job as well when he's got his opportunities to run the ball. But to know that we have two solid backs that we love, and it just allows us to just continue to play our brand of football and know that, we'll get a fresh set of legs in there that can execute. So it's a great feeling for me, and we'll figure out how to use both guys when that time comes.
Dave, Rico expressed to you how much playing against his old team and the Cowboys means to him, and does that factor into any of the calculus this week? That's
not a part of our language here. We take every opponent seriously. We look at all of them as championship opportunities to improve our football, to attack it, and this is going to be, I know that there's going to be, he's human. I know there's going to be emotions and all that, but we have to set those things aside, and I don't know if there's any special emotions for him last week. He played hard, and I expect him to play the same way.
Jalen Coker was wearing, at least while we were out there, a scout team uniform. What did you think of his performance today? How did he help you guys in practice?
He looked good. He ran crisp routes. He looks fast. He looks like Jalen. And we want to make sure that he can put the volume of this full weekend before we make a decision on whether to bring him up this week or not. So we're trying to get extra reps here and there, some scout team reps and some full speed routes, and ramp up his volume tomorrow to see where he's at, to see if he can handle it so we can trust that he's ready to go for a full game. When you open a player's window, it's easy to make decisions to try to get them back out there, especially when there's a guy like Jalen who we relied on to make plays for us last year. But at the same time, we have to open the window and be realistic about what he can handle and let him show us what he's ready to handle. So we'll take it day to day here and make a decision.
Dave, you'd been looking for backs to break more tackles, as you mentioned. Were there or was there a particular play or two from Sunday with Rico that you kind of held up as an example for the rest of the guys?
Yeah, there were several, where a defensive lineman is coming off of his block and he's got a free arm and Rico runs through the arm. It's the second level, safeties and corners showing up on the second level in the run game, and he's got his pad level down and he's covering the ball up, which is first and foremost for us. But those are just great examples of what it takes. And oftentimes when you run violently like that early on in the game, then the DBs they really have to, bring it. They really have to close in on you. That's where those extra yards kind of come in. You can set up runs and make moves to the left or right, but it all starts with running downhill, pressing the feet of the lineman, and running violently, and then that sets up the rest of it.
You talked about the Cowboys being number one in the league offensively. What do you see in that?
Great balance. A group of skill players that's really talented, experienced guys that have been with Dak for a while. And then, of course, adding George Pickens into the mix with speed and size, and then and I know Brian Schottenheimer personally, and I know that he's going to try to find a way to run the ball some way somehow, and so you just see the balance of their personnels, their formations. They can run or pass out of all those things, and that really is what makes them a good offense. And of course, I think Dak is playing at a really high level, finding his completions, finding his playmakers out there, and they're doing a good job just mixing personnels and utilizing their roster.
With your defense, are there particular areas where, maybe not surprised, but most impressed with how much progress they've made?
It's a collective group working together. That's what I see. I've seen that now for 3 weeks in practice happen, where they're talking before the snap, they're getting set, their eyes are right, and they're making adjustments together. And that's what I've seen collectively. And I'm proud of the young guys. Nick Scorton, who made some awesome plays. Princely had a couple of plays in there as well. Guys that I didn't get to mention, I didn't mention after the game. We were talking about, some of the younger players, but these are guys that are growing up. These are guys that are figuring it out, and they feel the weight of accountability from their teammates to do their job well, and they're taking to the challenge and continuing to improve.
There was about Dallas' defense improving a little bit. What do you see? Because right now they have, I think, the worst defense yard-wise in the league.
Yeah, to me, it looks like communication. I look at their roster and I look at the team that they've assembled, and they have depth. They have playmakers out there. They have two corners who will certainly catch it if you throw it to them. They're dynamic players. They have some really experienced rushers on the edge and some younger rushers that they're developing. And so, Kenny Clark on the inside as well. And I look at this group, and I just see those guys figuring out how to play together in a scheme, and really that's what it amounts to me. And I know Matt Eberflus as well, and I know he's an excellent coach. Andre Curtis, another friend of mine there on the defensive staff, they'll get these guys to play really good defense in short order. But I don't see them lacking anything. What I see is a group that's, as they come together and play together, I know that they're going to continue to ascend.
You had a guy that came back from injury who's been around for a little bit in LeBrian Ray, made some stops in the first half. When you see a guy come off IR while you're obviously monitoring Jalen and he responds the way he does that give you a confidence in the way that you guys are handling guys from the medical staff standpoint, but also the coaching rev-up standpoint?
Yeah, I can't say enough good things about Denny Kellington and the job the training staff is doing. Josh Hinks as well with the strength staff and preparing our guys to be ready for football when they come back from these things. Our return to play process has been excellent, and I'm really excited. Again, we have to treat each guy as an individual case with different types of injuries and exposure to it or recurring things. We have to take all those things into consideration, and we have all the analytics, we have all the expertise, the hands-on expertise, and now they pass them off to the coaches for us to put them to the test from a football standpoint so we can make educated decisions. But I feel very confident about our group getting our guys back and playing at a high level when they do.
There were a few times on Sunday that Nick, Princely, DJ, and Pat were all out there together. What do you like about that personnel grouping? And just from an offensive point of view, how would you defend that?
Well, it's a dynamic group, and they're guys that are versatile, and Pat Jones can go play inside. Nick Scorton can play inside some. To be able to move those pieces around, to get those fast guys out on the field. They've been working really hard on their stunts, their rush games, all those different things, their technique and their rushes as well, and it's all paying off. I see them working with, AC Carter. I see them working with Todd Wash, using their hands, using their leverage, and learning from the veteran players. So they're feeding off each other, and that's the type of energy that we need, and that's the group that needs to continue to grow to make an impact in the pass rush game.
We'll do a couple more. Zero talked about this last week, but continued to be a problem defending the tight end. What are you seeing that has to change defensively to shut down the opposing tight ends?
Yeah, there's a couple communication issues that we have to work through, and then let's give credit where credit is due. Trey McBride is a phenomenal player. Darren Waller is a phenomenal player. Those guys are going to make their plays. Can we minimize it by playing our leverage as well, being aware of where they're at in formation, and making sure we eliminate those big explosive plays? Are they still going to produce? Absolutely. They're going to find their plays, but let's minimize the big plays. And I think that's the biggest thing, is just making sure that they're all tied in together in their coverages.
I know you want to have a strong attack among two balanced running backs, but is there something you said the benefits of primarily giving the ball to one back and letting him do what Rico did this past weekend?
Could be. Some teams have two backs that they use with effectiveness. Some teams have a lead back that they ask to carry the load. We'll look at all of it and we'll make those decisions when we get Chuba back.
First back-to-back home games that you're having this year, what kind of benefits does that provide for you and your team to just have the stability of being in Charlotte for more of an extended time getting ready for these games?
I mean, speaking personally, it's just spending time with my family, spending time with my wife and my kids throughout the weekend, where you normally get on a plane sometime on Saturday afternoon, and I get to go see soccer. And, those types of things, it puts you in a good state of mind. I will say the flip side, I think that on the road, in my experience, when I'm on the road, I have a window on the plane to watch a little bit more film, to look at my call sheet one more time, go up and down the halls, the aisles, talking to players, talking to coaches. And so there's a connectedness that happens to a team playing on the road. We got to be able to make sure that shows up on game day. We got to make sure we're able to do that. But we certainly love being here at home, playing in Bank of America Stadium, where we're familiar with. We do everything here. We have our meetings and our practices, and we love it here. And so we look forward to that, just having the back-to-back weeks where we can kind of, spend time with our families and really recover that way going into this long season.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah, thank you.
when you have a running back who breaks tackles, like.
But watching him, have an amazing day, it was a lot of fun for me.
We heard the news, obviously, of him getting the honor this week. Of course, that's an individual award, but it's all of you guys. And it kind of puts Panthers on the map a little bit. What kind of energy does that bring to you guys when one of your players is getting recognized that way?
Yeah, it's awesome. I'm super, super happy for Rico. Someone who works super hard, deserves it. Great player, great guy, great person for our team. So it's awesome. And yeah, I'm sure he'll be the first to say too, it's the O-line did an amazing job as well. It's all of us taking pride in that. So yeah, we're all super proud of that.
Bryce, what's unique about the relationship of Rico and Chuba? Were they able to, handle one guy may get 200 yards one week and the next week he's a backup to Chuba? So I mean, what's unique that allows them to handle that type of situation? Because a quarterback, you don't really have to deal with that.
Well, I just know that they're great people. They're people that are always rooting each other on, always working, always doing the right things, always doing the little things. So from my perspective, from the perspective of the entire team, we're all grateful that we get to work with those guys. So they're great for the locker room.
Dave said that Rico essentially called the first play of the second half where he ran for 53 yards. Were you aware that Rico wanted that particular run?
Yeah. Brad told me, he was like, hey, this is something that, right before, and he kind of told us, like, this is what you want. He wants us to take ownership, and he called his shot, and of course did a great job executing it. Again, up front, they did an amazing job. But yeah, it's just like, it's great to see that ownership, and something that coaches talk about all the time. We're great for them kind of empowering us to take that ownership, and it speaks to the competitor and the player Rico is.
Do you also suggest plays like, hey, I like this look here, or do you do that mid-game as well?
Yeah, we have talks throughout the week, on the sideline, always come back, and Coach Canales is, again, another thing that it's great to have is someone, that's, hey, what do you see out there? He's always encouraged us to talk, hey, this could come up, this is something that's going on, this is something that, is in the plan that I think would be good, and he's always communicating things he sees to me, so again, it's credit to our staff that they empower us to do that.
Remember a specific play that you've done that before and how that worked out?
I don't remember a specific play. It's, stuff like that. It's not super uncommon. It's just like, hey, I think they're ready for this. Hey, I think this is coming up. Because, throughout the week, we kind of talk through the plan. Obviously you react as things go, but it's most of the time it's not this left field, drop a play. It's, hey, we know we want to get to this at this point. We want to see how they're feeling. Yeah, it's fairly frequent.
Coker's practice window open. What does he bring to this wide receiver corps?
Yeah, he brings a ton. The competitor he is, how hard he works. Someone who's physical, fast, really good route runner, super strong hands, really good after the catch. I think it's just another element. Obviously, I'm not 100% clear on the timetable and all that is, but whatever it is, we're all excited for him to be progressing, him to be back in. Also, I'm super happy for him. Again, people don't get to see the work that he puts in throughout the week. Obviously, when someone goes on IR, from an outside perspective, you kind of just, kind of forget that they're around or don't think about them as much. But like actually being a part of the team, being a part of the building, seeing how we work, seeing how he's killing himself in the weight room, killing himself in the training room, doing every little thing, engaged in the walkthrough, still asking questions, even on weeks when he knows he's not going to be up for multiple more weeks. Game plan is going to change, still staying engaged. So I'm happy for him because he's been putting in a tremendous amount of work.
He's getting reintegrated. It's another weapon for you. It's at the same time when XL is getting kind of back to his form after his injury. Jimmy Horn's getting in. What kind of, positivity does that bring for you when you have plenty of options at this point? Yeah,
it's super exciting. I'm super grateful for the group that we have. And everyone's growing, everyone's getting better, everyone's pushing in the right direction. So for me, from my perspective, we have a ton of assets, a ton of weapons, and I'm excited to get them the ball.
We always talk about like trust and belief and all that sort of stuff. Late in the game, all those rookies making big plays. When you watch the film, like what is that? How excited does that get you as you get more and more guys that you can trust and you can believe in each game?
Yeah, it's super exciting. It's fun. Again, from the outside perspective, you probably just watch on Sundays for most people for for everyone inside, you see the day-to-day growth, you see the development, you see the first day that someone gets drafted or gets in and has to learn what the very first formation is, and all the little intricacies of the offense, and watching them progress, watching them take ownership, watching the work they put in turn into confidence and turn into production on Sundays. It's super rewarding. It's really fun to watch, and for me, I have all the confidence in the world in the guys that go out there. So it's super exciting.
With that growth, are there particular things T-Mac is better at, faster, maybe than you think a rookie might ordinarily be at?
Yeah, I think he just plays with such a feel to the game that a lot of times you expect that out of a veteran receiver. You expect a guy that's played a ton of snaps to know where to be, know the angles to break out, to recognize coverage, to have little nuanced things when if it splits off from someone else or someone's running a different route, having the feel of, okay, I'm going to adjust to make them right. I'm going to figure out I'm going to feel the zone and make sure I adjust my depth to be where I need to be there. Stuff that and that's stuff that he does a great job at. Stuff that when you're out there, especially at the quarterback position, you recognize it jumps out immediately. Just one of the many assets he brings.
You play that you're like, okay, a rookie doesn't normally do that.
Actually, we were. This was like all the way back in. I want to say OTA. It was like right when he first got here. So all the way back in OTAs, and we were just working on a keeper, and he was on one of the shorter routes in the keeper, and it was the same term that we used for a different keeper, and we had another route on the backside, and he ran it in it actually wasn't even ran, it was a walkthrough, and he had stopped after. He's like, oh, he has the other route on the backside. I'll make sure I slow down and give you time so we have space. And that's stuff that rookies that come in, it's like, what's the name of the route? What's my steps? It's just, you're trying to figure out. And for immediately come in, have the feel, understand what's going on with, the football IQ to do it and to apply it full speed, that was probably one of the first things that I recognized.
Bryce,
Couple more, please.
Did you enjoy being mic'd up this week?
It was I guess I didn't feel it. I didn't think about it during the game, so that's fine. But yeah, that was something.
Did you listen back to it?
I watched back some of it. It's kind of weird. I guess for everyone else, it's not weird watching.
That's what I'm gonna ask. What is it like, literally seeing yourself in a moment that you're trying to get lost in that moment playing football, and then seeing yourself oh wait, this is how I act on that.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen stuff like that before, so it wasn't super foreign, but it's always interesting. It's there's certain things like that, the NFL stuff. I try to look at it as a blessing. There's only certain professions you can do where they record you and follow you with the camera everywhere you go, and getting to see it is definitely a privilege. So I try not to take that for granted.
To your character of apologizing to the cameraman after the football, that clip was awesome.
What are those moments like? Because the two that stand out to me was the one that was covered in Darren's article, the moment with Derek where you were just sort of stay with me. And then at the end with JC where it was finish it out. Those little exchanges with the defense, what do those sort of mean as far as the bond between the offense and the defense? Yeah,
it's something that we emphasize, and I'm super grateful to have the defense we have, and obviously for what they do on the field, but the character they are, the people they are, the players they are, and it's a team effort. We talk about it all the time. We want to play complementary football, and especially on Sundays when we are on that same sideline. Making sure that we know we're playing for each other. We know that, I know their defense has my back. I want them to know the other way. We interact, we talk, and I think it's good for both of us just to make sure football is a weird sport where half the time you're sitting on the bench and it's completely out of your hands. I don't know too many other sports that are like that. And because of that, you have to, when you have that trust, you have that belief, and you have that investment on the other side, it adds to the cohesion of the team. So I'm grateful for the group of guys we have over there and just that willingness to feed off each other.
Appreciate
you.
Thanks,
Bryce.